Okay, this is practice worksheet number 1 for 5.2, solving two-step equations. With two-step equations, we're going to have two steps. You always want to remember that first you're going to do your addition or your subtraction, because we're undoing the equation. So we're actually working backwards. We're doing the opposite of our order of operations. So we're going to do our addition or subtraction first, and then second will be your multiplication or a division to finally solve for your variable. So let's take a look here at number 1. We'll do a few together, a few examples. So looking in the equation, we want to go to the side where the variable is, and you want to start undoing the numbers that are around the variable. And we're going to start with our addition or subtraction. So I want to cancel out this -1 here, or a subtracting 1. So I'm going to add 1. Whatever we do to one side, I have to do to the other side of the fence, the other side of the equal sign. Okay? Those would cancel. We'll bring down 9x, our equal sign, and then that's going to add up to 117. All right, and then you're back to your final one-step equation here. Again, we want to get the variable by itself. So right now this is 9 times x. We're going to do the inverse operation of multiplying, so we want to divide by 9 so that those would cancel. Whatever we do to one side, we're going to have to do to the other side of the equation. So to get that answer, 117 divided by 9 would give us 13. All right. Let's just go down the odds here. We'll do a few of these together. So now this one, same idea. Go to the side where the variable is. You want to start undoing the numbers that are around the variable. So we're going to start with that, adding or subtracting. So right now we have a +4, and you want to cancel it out by subtracting 4. Do the same thing to the other side, and then bring down n divided by 4 equals 7 minus 4, or equals 3. Okay, and we still need to get that variable isolated or by itself. So right now it's n divided by 4. We have to do the inverse operation, and we're going to multiply by 4. And whatever we do to one side, we would do to the other. Okay, and this is really like a 4 over 1, so that these would cross cancel. And we're going to get n equals 12. All right, number 5. Now this one's a little bit backwards just because our variable's on the right. That's okay though. We're going to still go to that side. You want to start canceling or undoing the numbers that are around the variable. We need to add or subtract first though. So it's this 3 that I would want to cancel. And it's a +3. It doesn't have any sign in front of it, so it tells me it's a positive. So to cancel it, I'm going to have to subtract 3 and do that to the other side as well. So those cancel. And be careful here. Watch your signs. It's a -37 minus 3. So, or it's almost like you're combining both of those together and they're both negative. So that would be -40 equals our 2x. And again, you need to get that variable by itself, so we're going to have to divide by 2. Do that to the other side. All right, and again, watch your signs. -40 divided by 2 will give us a -20 equals x. All right, you can leave your answer like that, or if you prefer to rewrite it with the variable on the left, you can do that as well. Those are, either answer is okay. All right, so that gives you several examples. Let's flip over to the back here. Let's take a look at some of the word problems. That seems to be what we struggle on as well. So let's take a look at number 11. It says, you bought a magazine for $3 and some erasers for $2 each. You spent a total of $19. How many erasers did you buy? So if we write it out as we read it, we bought a magazine, we know, for $3. So we're going to start with our 3. And is a keyword for addition. So we have $3 and some erasers. We don't know exactly how many, but we do know that they were $2 each. So we can do $2 times the amount of erasers, because erasers is our variable. That's what we're trying to find. And we spent a total, that's your keyword for an equal sign, of $19. So once you've set up the equation, it's a two-step equation, so we can go ahead and solve for that variable. Want to do our addition or subtraction first, so it's that 3 that I want to cancel out. So subtract 3 from the other side. Bring down 2e would equal 16. And then one final step, we would have to divide by 2. E equals 8, so we bought 8 erasers. All right. And then one more, just so you have an example of these type. Number 13, 14, 15, and 16, I think, are all going to be set up in the same way. It says James spent half of his weekly allowance buying pizza. He earned more money. His parents let him, to earn more money, his parents let him weed the garden for $9. What is his weekly allowance if he ended with 16? So we're trying to figure out his weekly allowance. So let's make A for allowance our variable. That's what we're trying to figure out. Back up at the top, though, it says he had his allowance and he spent half of it. So if you take half of something, you would divide it by 2. So his allowance divided by 2. Then he earned more money. So we're going to add, and he earned $9 more. And then he ended with 16. Okay, so again, kind of reading through it, setting up our problem, we get our two-step equation. Do our addition or subtraction first. In this case, I want to cancel out this adding 9. So I'm going to have to subtract 9 from both sides. So our 9s are going to cancel. I'll bring down A divided by 2 is going to equal 7. And it's A divided by 2, so I'm going to have to do the inverse and multiply by 2. Whatever I do to one side, got to do to the other side. So these cancel, and A is 14. So if I go back up, it says, what is his weekly allowance? His weekly allowance would have been $14. Okay, hopefully that will help you get through some of the other problems on that worksheet number 1.